So I received a question recently from a friend and fellow artist who wanted to know a little bit more about my thoughts on starting a YouTube channel to show her art. I will answer all her questions and more in this video, but I just wanted to let you know it might be kind of a long one, so I'm sorry in advance, but get ready for it. So I've broken this video into 3 sections. The first is technical, camera, lighting, video editing software, etc. The second section is going to be nuts and bolts, that is starting and growing a YouTube channel. And the third section is all about the content of your videos. Now I know that I don't have a huge following, admittedly, as far as YouTube channels go, but I do feel like I put a lot of time and energy and passion into making my videos, which is why I wanted to share my thoughts on how to start a channel with you. First, let's talk about everything technical. Cameras and lighting really go hand in hand for me. If you are just starting out, you're typically not thinking about investing in a lighting kit, nor would I recommend that you think about investing in a lighting kit. So regardless of what kind of camera you'll be using, my best advice to you as far as lighting goes is to use natural light. It doesn't matter if you'll be recording a video where you'll be staring at the camera and talking, or where you'll be drawing and recording traditionally, use natural light. It really is your best friend. Your videos will look so much nicer and they will have a lot higher production quality because of it. As far as cameras go, just like with the lighting scenario, use what you have. If you have a smartphone, such as an iPhone, that is capable of recording in 1080p or higher, then use that. I personally use my iPhone 6s for all of my traditional process and speed paint videos. Just make sure that your camera settings are turned to 1080p at the minimum to record. In natural lighting, videos recorded at 1080p, even on your phone, will look awesome. And honestly, I do love the portability as well as the autofocus feature of my phone, which is why even though I've had a YouTube channel for over a year now, I have no plans in investing in a new camera. That is for the purposes of recording my process work. Now, if you plan on making videos where you want to talk to the camera about different art subjects, then I still definitely recommend using what you have, which is natural lighting and your smartphone. I personally had the very nice ability to borrow an actual video camera from my dad, which records in 1080p, and the important thing is it has a little flip screen that you can turn around so I can see myself while I am recording. I'll leave everything about brands and product info in the description box below. I don't necessarily recommend this camera per se. It's fine and it gets the job done. I just jumped on the chance to use it when I thought that I wanted to start branching out from just making time-lapse videos with a voiceover, and I wanted to start talking directly to the camera. The only thing I guess I really find so great about this camera is that it has a flip screen. And since I am talking directly to the camera, it allows me to help position myself in the frame as well as just get the focus right. But this camera, again, is really not necessary. If you do plan on making videos where you're talking directly to the camera and you do want to use your smartphone for these kind of videos, do not use the front-facing camera to record these videos. Most front-facing cameras on smartphones are not equipped to record in 1080p, and your videos will come out a little grainier and not quite as crisp of quality for YouTube. Since this means you'll have to be using the rear-facing camera, which records in hopefully 1080p or higher, what you can do to make up for this lack of a flip screen on your camera, or on your phone I should say, while you're recording, is just place a small mirror above your smartphone so you can see yourself. And then when you're setting up your shot, you can place your mirror behind your camera screen so you can see where you're positioning yourself in the frame as you set up the shot. To record my drawing process, I use a couple of different tools to hold up my smartphone. The first tool that I use, which I prefer to use more often because it allows me to vary up the angles of the shots that I take, is the Joby Grip-Tight GorillaPod stand for smartphones. It really is a smaller, slimmed down version of the GorillaPod stands for cameras, and it has a little clamp that is expandable, which you can fit your smartphone into. Personally, I like to use this tripod because it allows me to vary up the different angles of the shots that I use when I am making a video of my drawing process. I think this makes for a much more interesting video, and it allows you to see different details of what I'm working on versus just looking straight down on the drawing itself with no camera rotation or visual interest in the video setup at all. For recording more straightforward, shot from above videos, which I don't do very often anymore, I use a stand that I got from Barnes & Noble, and it is called the Kickerland Design Gooseneck Phone Holder. I did use this stand in particular to record my 10-minute drawing challenge video because I knew that I would not have any time to really vary up shots or show different angles since I would be working under a time constraint. So I recommend this phone holder with some hesitation. While it is a relatively inexpensive purchase, $10 online from Barnes & Noble, which is compared to a tripod plus an overhead extension which can cost hundreds of dollars, it is also held to your desk or workspace with a clamp arm, like a light clamp, that can wiggle a little bit if you are doing any heavy kind of erasing or scrubbing with your drawing or painting material. It also wiggles a little bit once you've pressed the record button on your phone, so I find myself, after I press that button, having to manually stabilize the arm. That problem is not really a big deal in my personal opinion, but I do find it kind of annoying that if you are doing any heavy erasing, it can be rather annoying that your camera is going to shake a little bit when you are trying to film your video. If I were going to be making more traditional time-lapse drawing videos, I would probably think of investing in a different way to record my videos overhead. As far as editing software, again, I recommend using what you have. I personally have a MacBook Pro laptop, so iMovie came with my laptop. I have not ever purchased anything extra or downloaded anything extra to edit my videos, and to a large extent, I really like the simplicity of iMovie. There are some times, I will admit, that I wish iMovie had some more capabilities or extra features to make things a little bit more interesting in my videos, but just like I said, when you're starting out with lighting and your camera, you really don't need anything more heavy duty, or I don't recommend you invest in anything more heavy duty to get the job done. And if you are a PC user, I do know that Windows Movie Maker comes as an option with your computer. From some of the reviews I was reading comparing iMovie versus Windows Movie Maker, it seemed as though there were some less features in Windows Movie Maker compared to iMovie. This seemed to me like an accurate review of Windows Movie Maker according to the last time I used it, but the last time I used it was, again, not since high school. As far as picking music goes for your videos, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but stick with what you already have. The YouTube music library is already at your disposal, and those songs are easy to use. You can use them in your videos as long as you make sure to follow the instructions on crediting the artist in your video. Alright, let's talk about the nuts and bolts of your YouTube channel. This includes everything from starting to growing your channel. Now, I honestly trust you with figuring out how to start a Google account and set up a YouTube channel. I trust you with choosing an icon and a username and making a banner and all that good stuff that comes along with creating a new social media account. But you might be wondering, how do I start growing the number of people watching my YouTube videos? As much as you probably love making these videos, you did make them for a reason, and that reason was so people will watch them, not just so they'll exist in a vacuum. Even though my subscriber count is small now, I think the key for me to growing my YouTube channel is 3 C's: cross-posting, consistency, and community. So by cross-posting, I mean if I knew I was going to make a video for YouTube and I was going to record myself drawing, I might post several work-in-progress shots to my Instagram of the drawing as I'm working on it. And then I would post a finished shot of the drawing once I had finished the video and uploaded it to YouTube as a way to promote the fact that I now have a new video up on my channel. If you already have a small following on Instagram, Tumblr, or Twitter when you start your YouTube channel, which I did when I started mine. I had about 300 to 400 followers on Instagram and about 1,500 followers on Tumblr. This is a very small following, actually, but cross-posting is very important because it engages the followers that you already have on different social media sites and gathers their interest to potentially get them to come watch your YouTube videos. The idea is that these people who are already interested in seeing your work in the finished or work in progress form will be interested in seeing it come to life in video on YouTube. As far as consistency, it is important to maintain a schedule. Of course, in the beginning when you're first starting out, your schedule might be very different than when you get more advanced with making videos and learning how to speed up your editing and filming process. Just start with a schedule that works for you. You can inform your followers on your other social media sites, for instance, that you are starting a YouTube channel and that you'll be posting a video, say, once a month, and then stick to that schedule. And now for the intersection of cross-posting and consistency. When I first started out with my YouTube channel, I made really rigorous daily schedules as to how often and what I would post to my different social media accounts, including YouTube. I soon realized that this sucked the fun and life and energy out of sharing my work with my followers. But I do think it is important to come up with some kind of consistent formula that works for you. Maybe follow the formula of post one shot of a work in progress to your social media while you're working on the video, and then posting the final image with a link to the finished video when you're done filming the video. And remember to tie up all your loose ends. Try to leave a link to your video in your bio on Instagram so people can just jump over there and click on the link when they want to go watch your video. And now another aspect of consistency that I think is much more important than the idea of having a schedule is the idea that is related to branding. I want you to slow down before you go ahead and jump in and start to record your first video. Just sit down and ask yourself a few questions. Number one, do you have a consistent style or look as far as banners, fonts, colors, icons, and imagery that span your different social media accounts that are uniquely identifiable to you? Number two, are your social media accounts specifically for art, or are they sort of a mishmash of some drawings and photos of your coffee drinks and your outfits of the day? Number three, do you have consistent usernames across all your social media accounts that reflect your name or your art nickname or pseudonym? And number four, do you reference these different accounts amongst one another? If you don't feel like you have any of these things going on, that's okay. But I do believe that it is truly an important part of creating an online presence to treat it with the professionalism that you hope to be seen with. And don't get me wrong, you don't have to mistake professionalism for not having any fun. This will not only make it easier for you to be taken a little bit more seriously as a YouTuber, but it will also be much more helpful for people to find you across the internet. And I do recommend treating your social media with a level of professionalism, even if you don't plan on making a career out of your art. As far as community goes, I would give this advice to anyone who's looking to build a social media following on any platform, as well as anyone who's looking to build a social media following on YouTube. Engage with your community. Find people that you already follow in other places who might already have YouTube channels, or find new people on YouTube that you like their art and start engaging with them. And here, I think I need to come to a full stop and add. When engaging with fellow creators and your audience, be genuine. If you just spam post on other people's videos with two-word comments like, "Great job," or "Nice video," "Cool artwork," these are really lame excuses for interactions that can even hurt you in the long run. You will end up coming off as disingenuous, really looking obviously as though you had not watched the person's video, and you'll kind of low-key come off looking like you're just getting people to try to follow you and engage with your content. But seriously, don't think of it like homework. If you start to think of checking your subscription box to go watch the videos of the people you follow, to comment on them, to hopefully get more subscribers, that's not being genuine either. Just genuinely care about the stuff you like and share your appreciation for it. As far as content of videos, you may be wondering where to even start when figuring out what to post as your first video. I think there are a few things that you can do when you first start out making videos. Number one, find your comfort zone. I really do think that the comfort zone of art YouTubers is just to make a straightforward traditional or digital time-lapse or speed paint video with some relaxing music on top. And that's just because these videos are really easy to make if you already have a piece or a project that you need to work on and you just want to get something up on YouTube at the same time. So I want you to figure out what a really comfortable type of video is for you to make, and then start making it and get really good at it. Secondly, once you've made a few of your comfort zone videos, I want you to start to try to branch out. You have already shown the world that you can draw well, and you've shown the world that you can draw well in 8 times the speed you usually draw. Start to think about maybe adding voiceovers to your videos, talking about the art that you're creating or what's going on in your art journey at the moment. Or do you want to teach people about something that you're particularly adept at? Do you feel like you have a lot of knowledge about traditional inking with a nib pen? You could start with a video about the different kinds of nibs you use, the different kind of ink and paper you use, how to clean your instruments, etc. Do you want to talk about your opinion on different art topics? If so, just set up a camera and start talking to it if you feel comfortable enough. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Making videos is such a cool outlet for my passion and creativity because it allows me to express myself and my ideas in a different way than just drawing on paper does. But if YouTube stops being a source of joy for you, you should either take a moment and reevaluate why that is and see what you can do to change and make it fun again, or just stop creating videos for a while. There is really no shame in taking a break from YouTube. Your mental health comes before making videos. Period. And lastly, you should not start out YouTube with the intention of making lots of money or getting hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Because if that is your intention, you will not get either of those things from YouTube. The subscribers will follow if you put your love for creating into your channel. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, I would super appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, and feel free in the comments to leave any questions for me that I did not answer in the video, or feel free to share your own experiences with starting your own YouTube channel. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!